Yeah! What? That unlocks Dante Must Die? What? I'm done? Hello DMC lovers and fellow trophy hunters. In this video I'm going to show you the fastest possible way to complete the PlayStation Stars campaign Hard Game Club Devil May Cry 5. This campaign requires you to earn the trophy Dance with the Devil, which means beating the game on the difficulty Dante Must Die. Unlocking this campaign will be significantly easier for you if you're playing on the PS5 version, as there is a bug that will trigger the completion of this campaign simply by making progress towards the trophy. If you're playing on the PS4 version, you will have to actually unlock this trophy by beating the game on Dante Must Die. This video should still prove useful to PS4 players, as it will show you how to unlock later difficulties early. Using this guide, you could potentially complete this campaign within a half hour, even having never played the game before, depending on how much of a badass you are. But for reference, this took me about a total of 3.5 hours to complete, starting from scratch. If you don't already own the game, PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium members will have access to Devil May Cry Special Edition. The Special Edition includes the legendary Dark Knight difficulty, which is one of the main reasons we're able to expedite the process. Before we even start the game, the first thing we need to do is disable auto-syncing save data to the cloud. Go to Settings, Save Data and Game App Settings, Save Data PS5 or PS4 if that's what you're using, Sync Save Data, Auto-Sync Save Data, then go down to Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition and disable it. This is likely going to take you many tries, so you might want to mute the voice volume so you're not hearing the same repetitive shit over and over. Make sure you select Legendary Dark Knight. Completing the prologue without dying on this difficulty will unlock both Son of Sparta and Dante Must Die without having to play through the game first on lower difficulties. During the prologue, there will be 2 fights before getting to the real challenge. Use this first fight to familiarize yourself with the controls. Try to practice dodging while locked onto enemies, charging up the gun while slashing enemies with your sword, filling your X gauge between attacks, performing high roller and following enemies into the air, and getting a feel for how long you can stay in the air while shooting your gun after jumping. I'll go into more detail about how to perform all of these techniques throughout the video. The way we handle this second fight is very important because the checkpoint comes immediately after, so we need to make sure we have a full bar of health when we're done with this fight. You want to focus on defeating all of the enemies except for one of these bigger guys. Then once you're one-on-one with him, you want to take his health down as far as possible without killing him, so you can then allow him to kill you and then revive yourself with a full bar of health. Whatever the case may be, just make sure you do not get hit after you revive yourself. Otherwise you'll need to start over. It's worth spending the red orbs to revive yourself, no matter how many enemies are left, because you still might get lucky and get some green orb drops from enemies. Once we complete that fight with a full bar of health, we're almost done with the setup process. So once you've gotten his health low, allow him to kill you. You can then use red orbs to completely fill your health bar for 7,000 or 22,500, which will fill your health gauge as well as damage enemies around you. If you're downed while near enemies, it's usually worth spending the 22,000. But as you'll see here, since I was thrown away, I spent the extra red orbs to try and damage him, but I was too far away for it to have any effect. So if you're far enough away, it's worth saving the red orbs and just spending the 7,000 to fill your health gauge. We've now reached the checkpoint, but we're going to continue on to actually start the boss fight just to ensure the checkpoint saves. Run up this hill while jumping over all of the enemies. Trigger the cutscene, and then drop down before the enemies have a chance to attack you. Continue forward to trigger another cutscene, and then once the boss fight starts, pause. Then select Quit Mission and exit to the main menu. Close the game, then select Upload Download Save Data, and upload your save from console storage to cloud storage. Or if you don't have PlayStation Plus, then back up your save to USB. Now that that's out of the way, we're ready to finally fight this bitch. Load back into the checkpoint and run towards the boss. Make sure your X gauge is full, and completely charge your gun before moving through the barrier that triggers the cutscene. If you take damage too early in the fight, just go ahead and restart the checkpoint. As I said before, this whole process took me a total of about 3.5 hours. It took me exactly 39 attempts to finally defeat this boss. 19 times that I died, and 19 times that I restarted the checkpoint, for a total of 38 failures. This isn't easy, but it's a lot easier than playing through the entire game 2 or 3 times. If you die, then close the game, select Upload Download Save Data, and download your save from cloud storage to console storage. From there, it's easy to get back into the game by just using Resume Activity. Or if that's not there for some reason, go down to Activities and press the square button on Continue. Or if you want, you can just start the game and select Continue from the main menu. Now, bear with me as I'm going to show the entire fight and break down this strategy into as much detail as possible. The primary way we'll be dealing damage for most of the fight will be by using color up, which means charging the gun with 3 power shots by holding the fire button. So you start by shooting once to interrupt Nero's starting animation, then immediately run up for melee attacks. Just hit the crystal as many times as you can before he pushes you back. Then we're just going to be using color up for the remainder of the fight, other than when we're actually attacking him when he's open. The blue orb that he throws at you is a sphere that will slow you down if you're caught in it. Whenever he starts to charge this, jump away to dodge it. Whenever he throws out the pink rain, just keep shooting him and walk around to easily dodge the attack. He'll usually do 2 of these in a row, raining down in an arrow pattern, followed by the 3rd time, which precedes him charging up a laser. Dodging the laser is the main thing you need to focus on learning how to do. He starts by sweeping from left to right, and then shoots out a 2nd laser, which he then sweeps to the center as a type of scissor attack.
You have to be careful with scissors.
Once he scissors you, he'll throw 2 fireballs at you, then follows up with a geyser attack. The majority of our offense will be delivering as many shots as possible while walking around the geyser attacks and missile rain. If you do get caught in a time sphere, just keep holding the analog stick away from Urizen and spamming the jump button, and you'll usually avoid being hit by the following fireball. If he uses the rain attack 3 times in a row, that's when he'll be charging the laser. The 3rd time he uses the rain attack will also appear in a different pattern, where they'll fall on your location more than once. So after 2 consecutive rain attacks, start preparing to dodge the multiple rain attacks falling on your location, as well as preparing for the laser sweep. Getting the pattern for the laser sweep and fireball combination is the most important part of mastering this fight. You start by jumping to the left over the first laser sweep, while avoiding the time sphere that he shoots at you. Then running towards the center of the arena to prepare to jump to the right over the scissor attack, and continuing to move right and jumping over the final laser sweep as both fireballs are fired at you. Once you land, you can either run toward Urizen or towards the screen to avoid the geyser attacks. He'll randomly throw fireballs, never more than 2 at a time. Always jump out of the way of those, or the time spears that he throws at you. Also, never more than 2 at a time. Usually it's only one, but sometimes he'll throw 2 time spheres at you. Once you see him start to sparkle and the shield becomes visible, start running towards Urizen as quickly as you can. This is when we need to start locking onto him by holding the R1 button. And once we're at his feet, perform high roller while holding down the triangle button to jump into the air. While airborne, slash him as many times as you can. Rinse and repeat if you can. Once you're knocked back, keep slashing the red crystal until he pushes you away. He'll usually start firing the laser before firing the time sphere for his typical laser scissor fireball attack, but sometimes he'll fire the time sphere first. His patterns are fairly consistent, but just be careful because they can change slightly throughout the fight. While you're unleashing your melee attacks on Urizen, you should be attempting to fill your exceed gauge after every attack. By pressing the L2 button after every swipe of the sword, you'll fill your exceed gauge, allowing the following attack to deal more damage. In this instance, he fired 2 consecutive time spheres, followed by a single laser sweep from left to right and then right to left, with 2 fireballs between the laser sweeps. I can't confirm if this is the pattern he follows after firing 2 consecutive time spheres, as he didn't use this pattern often. But no matter what he's doing, just keep your eyes on the laser and what he's throwing at you at all times. If you get knocked out of your rhythm, just stay focused, do what you can, and stay airborne as long as you need to by continuing to fire. shit. When attacking the crystal after attacking Urizen, you should be knocked back before the crystal shoots its spikes out. But just in case, if you do see the crystal start to charge up, jump away from it to avoid being hit by its spikes. This is the second time he does a single laser sweep back and forth during this fight, and you'll see that during his next scissor attack, he goes back to firing the laser before the time sphere. There's no exact pattern to how he performs these laser attacks every time, so just stay on your toes. After so many failed attempts, I decided to start listening to music to help motivate me for these fights. Once I started listening to this playlist, I think it only took me a few tries before winning. Since this playlist helped me so much, I'm putting it in the description in case it helps you too. This is a playlist I made in early 2022, encapsulating the current fucked up state of the world, and I think it matches the tone of this game well. Once you get the basics of this fight down, this playlist will help a lot in breaking up the monotony of all the failed attempts and motivate you to keep pushing forward. Once he starts to twinkle while his health is low, just don't make any dumb mistakes and get ready to celebrate, because although there's still a few more steps before we're done, you just finished the hardest part.
Holy fuck. I fucking did it!
That better work.
Yeah! What?
That unlocks Dante Must Die?
What?
I'm done? Dante Must Die. Start the prologue again on Dante Must Die. and progress to the second fight with the two giant praying mantis enemies. This time, our goal is only to survive this fight. Don't worry about how much health you finish with.
Oh no. Fuck you. Come on.
Since reviving costs way more red orbs on this difficulty, it would be better to just restart unless you know you're going to finish this fight. that? Oh my god. Fuck you. I ended up spending all of my red orbs and both of my gold orbs to finish this fight and still ended it with only a sliver of health. Oh my god. This was very risky because if I had failed, I would have been left with no safety net for future attempts. Give me a green orb. Yes. At the point of recording gameplay here, I thought I still had to completely unlock the Dance with the Devil trophy in order to complete this challenge. And I also incorrectly thought that I could earn that trophy by beating the prologue. Fuck yeah. But if you've made it this far, all you need to do at this point is die. I'll leave you with these couple of minutes of my final attempt and my reaction when I learned that I was finished with this nightmare. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope this helps you. If I did my job, then it'll take you fewer than 39 attempts to defeat Urizen. Let me know how many times it takes you. Thank you so much for watching. Now go be a badass. What? What? Oh. I fucking did it though. I did it though. Holy shit. Oh, you just have to progress. I just had to die. Oh, I did it. Holy shit it.